What's going on, guys? I've got an interesting review for you today. This is the Fosi Audio C3, and it is a DAC amp / gaming sound card. This was sent to me by Fosi Audio in order for me to review the product. And when they reached out to me, of course, I was really interested because I've actually been using the Fosi Audio K7 for a little bit of time now, for a couple months at least. And I found it to be a really great DAC amp, great product to test headphones and just use in my daily life, listening to music, playing games on my PS5 Pro. And it's been great. And the build quality on the K7 is so good. And I really like Fosi Audio's products. I've also checked out their IM4 in the past, the IEM, and I found them to be quite nice, quite enjoyable. Really good build quality on those as well. So given Fosi Audio's reputation as a company, I decided to collab with them, but all they did was send me this C3, no money was exchanged. This isn't a sponsorship or anything like that. They just sent me the product for review. Yeah, let's get into it. As you guys can see, we've got some branding on the side, C3 over there, Fosi Audio over here, and then over here you see this Spider S, which is supposed to be like their proprietary AI model that's supposed to give you a competitive edge in terms of picking out specific audio cues like footsteps in particular, in first-person shooter games. According to Fosi Audio, there's like a 6 to 9 decibel footstep enhancement with this AI-trained model. So it's a really cool competitive advantage that you can get from this in specific games. And I say specific games because there's only a couple of games that are currently supported with this AI footstep model. As of right now, it's only Counter-Strike 2, PUBG Battlegrounds, Delta Force, and then in June, Apex Legends and Battlefield 6 should get support. So it's something that's kind of still in the works, but if you play any of those games, you're definitely gonna get an advantage. I personally don't even play those games, so I can't even speak much, but from what I've read and from what I've heard from other reviews, it really does work. So I would take their word for it. What you get in the box is simple. You just get this very well-built DAC amp that's quite compact. As you can see in comparison to the K7, it's quite a bit smaller and it's definitely lighter as well. Unlike the Fosi Audio K7, which comes with its own power supply, the C3 doesn't come with its own power supply. So whichever device you're using and plugged into, it's going to drain the battery from that device. I kind of would have preferred its own power supply, but I think this will pair pretty well with a PC, which will supply the power to the C3. So I think it's more of a PC-centric device. In the box, you also get this USB-C cable. It's USB-C on both sides, and then you have a little USB-A adapter that you can plug. As you can see, you have a 3.5mm port for headphones, and then you have another one for the microphone. Got a power button here, have a mic mute button here. Then you have the UAC button to switch between 2.0 and 1.0. Then you have this effect button, which I'll show you later, swaps between FPS 7.1 surround sound, and then you can just turn off the effect overall. Then you have these sliders for the volume and the mic, which feel pretty good. What I don't love is that you can kind of hear it when it's going down. Only sometimes you hear like a little scratchy piece. But it's not a big deal. The build quality overall is stellar. You have this aluminum build, which is all Fosi Audio products that I've tried so far have been really well built. Then on the back here, you have a switch to turn off and on the microphone noise canceling. It does its own AI noise canceling for the microphone if you turn this on. Then you have the USB-C port, optical in, coax in, and RCA out. On the bottom, you've got these rubberized feet that do a good job keeping it in place. What's cool about the Fosi Audio software is it allows you to make changes like EQ changes, upgrade the firmware, all on a web app. So you don't actually have to download a specific application on PC or Mac to make changes. All you do is plug in the Fosi Audio C3. I have it plugged into my MacBook Pro here. The website is called cc.fosiaudio.com. You add the device, there you go, you got the C3. And then boom, you're in. You can make changes. You can activate spatial audio. You can activate the step sense FPS, which you can also do directly on the Fosi Audio C3. And here you can activate an 8-band precision parametric EQ, which is super cool. It already comes with its own presets. You could have Counter-Strike 2 here, PUBG Battlegrounds, Delta Force, Valorant. Then you have one for game, music, movie, and then you can make your own custom ones as well, which is super neat. So this is super convenient, and I like that it's a web app because I really don't like running other applications. And also a lot of times with some of these audio products, headsets or DAC amps or whatever it is, they're locked into PC only usage in terms of making changes or updates or stuff like that. So I like that Fosi Audio just runs this all through a website, a web URL, and you can make all the changes your heart desires even on a Mac. So I really appreciate Fosi Audio for kind of thinking about all types of ecosystems in terms of software. So I've talked about all of these different features, software features, AI features that this Fosi Audio C3 has. But at the end of the day, it's just a really good DAC amp. Like, I've just been using these to listen to music, and the sound is just super transparent. There's no really processing being done. It gives you the music as it's intended, but in a way it kind of like, not necessarily sharpens it, but it makes it sound so clear. I actually find very slightly, this is incredibly slightly, I actually find the output on the C3 to be a little bit more analytical than the K7, which is surprising, but I think they're using slightly newer components, so maybe that's why. But it's just such a clean, such transparent output that this is just really good if you're looking for a DAC amp just for music and gaming. Like, it works great. I've had no issues at all, and the sound that I'm getting from it is exactly what I want without any type of processing or additions being done. I also like how granular the volume adjustments are. Every time you move it, like this is a notch. The volume is changing every time you just move it just a little bit. And I really like that, which is something that I actually don't get on the K7. I think there might be a firmware update on the K7 to make the volume adjustments go up by 1, but I have it on the old one and they go up by 2, which I don't love. But what I do like about the K7 over the Fosi Audio C3, even though you can make EQ adjustments on the C3, I like how easy it is to do it on the K7 because you can just hit the tone button and change the bass and treble on the go just with this knob, and I really like that about the K7. I also like the bypass feature, which lets you change the tone control in terms of adding the bass treble back or turning it off. The Fosi Audio K7 also has Bluetooth, where you plug in an antenna and you get, I think it's Bluetooth 5.0, you get AAC, SBC, and I believe aptX as well. So they both have their pros and cons. Like, if you're only gonna use it for gaming, I would say maybe go for the C3, especially if you're very into first-person shooters, because they already have some games supporting that FPS boosting AI, and they're gonna add more in the future. And overall, I mean, I think both of these are great. I think they both have benefits over one another, but I've been really happy with both of these. I really like the C3. I think the only thing I wish was that it had its own power supply like the K7 does. I know that probably would have bumped up the cost a little bit, but I actually end up listening to music a lot of the time just with my phone, plugging into the K7 with the USB-C cable. And if I do that on the C3, of course, it's gonna drain battery pretty quickly from my iPhone. So that's one of the only, I guess, gripes I have about the C3. I wish it came with its own power. But other than that, I've been super happy with the output, with the build quality. It just feels really premium, just like the K7 did. And yeah, I really do recommend it. I'll have a link down below for you guys to check it out. I'll put a discount code as well so you guys can get a little bit off it if you're interested in this one, or if you're interested in the Fosi Audio K7 as well. I'll have a link to that one also. I haven't done a dedicated review for the K7, but I love this thing. I really do. I love this one too. I just feel like the K7 gives you a little bit more convenience, I guess. Convenience with the Bluetooth and convenience with some of the adjustments you can make to the bass and the treble. But both of them are awesome. I really do like Fosi Audio's products. And I'm glad they reached out because they're one of my favorite audio companies right now going. And I think they have a really bright future ahead of them. So hopefully they come out with more great products like these two. And hopefully we'll check them out on the channel. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.